Well, good morning. I want to talk about our relationship. Because, dear America, we need to talk. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's like to be a Canadian on the receiving end of what is happening between our countries. And I just wanted to start by saying we love Americans. We don't like what some of them are doing to us with tariffs, which we'll get into. But I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm related to Americans, like biologically related to Americans, and I love them. I've been to probably more than 40 states, driven across your country many times, and I'm going back this winter to see my family in Ohio and Texas. And a really cool fact was my dad did our genealogy in a few years before he died. And he found out that we were actually related to one of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence. And I mean, that was amazing. My dad also taught at the FBI Academy, just sessional, like not full-time, but he would teach at the FBI Academy in Quantico and come back with like FBI baseball hats that we wore. And when we came over from England, Ireland, and France way back, some of it because of the Irish potato famine, some of our biologicals went into the United States and became obviously a governor, and some of them went on to Minnesota to do farming. Well, the new people coming to North America, I guess new Canadians at that point, but we were under British rule, they went to Saskatchewan and became farmers. And then some of that family went on to British Columbia out west. And all that to say, we have, and I can't speak on behalf of all Canadians, obviously, all 40 million of us, but we have always thought that we lived next door to our best friend. And we were aware that, you know, it's kind of like being little and sleeping with an elephant. When the elephant rolls over, makes big moves, we would feel it. But we thought that we were very good friends. So what has been happening is there's a lot of maybe traditional media coverage about polling and about how Canadians are not liking Americans. That, to me, is not true. We've always loved Americans. We feel a kindred sense with them, and we don't like the decisions that are impacting us in a really bad way. I mean, 50% tariffs on your best friends for no reason. Like, absolutely zero reason. That is what we are objecting to. That is why the sales of Kentucky bourbon are down, because if you're going to put 50%, if your government is going to put 50% tariffs on us just randomly, every once in a while, I guess we don't cooperate enough or something like that, and we do not want to be the 51st state. I cannot impress upon you enough how offensive that is. We are our own country. We fought to be free. And speaking of fighting, you know, during Los Angeles wildfires, we sent help. During Hurricane Helene, I volunteered. Sorry, there's a big truck passing. I volunteered, went to Asheville and volunteered. The Canadians in and around Concord raised thousands and thousands of dollars to help with, heaters and blankets and first aid and all of that kind of stuff. And I stayed in Asheville unexpectedly. I was just gonna pass through, but I stayed and volunteered in really cold mountain conditions as the men and some women would go up the mountain and try and find, hopefully, survivors. Sometimes they didn't. So then when we have a forest fire and we're told that we really need to clean up the air, how come that comment wasn't made when you guys have forest fires? And, Canadians, because we have the high north, I think are pretty familiar with climate change, and our forest fires are getting worse. Our weather is getting worse. And I know some people who are Canadians who might not believe in climate change, but I do. And these things are going to get worse, and getting blamed for our smoke blowing into New York City. We're sorry the New Yorkers were going through that, but it's a forest fire and wind. So the earth in crisis. So I'm going back van life in the new van, which I will do an updated tour soon, because I've changed some things as I've lived in it over the summer, and some things were working, some things weren't really efficient. So I'm going back to the United States, and I will be there when the midterms happen. I will either be in Texas or Arizona when the midterms happen. And I'm going to see my family in Ohio on the way. Then I'm going to see my family in Dallas-Fort Worth. Then one of my very, very dear friends in Huntsville, Texas. Might see some friends in Nevada, not quite sure yet. And I'm going to add 2 more states to my list of states that I have been to. I don't think I will probably be in Alaska or Hawaii for my state count, but I like to see as many new things as possible. So I will be there for the midterms. I do not want this video to be political in nature, because, well, he's your president and he does impact everyone else on Earth. I don't want this channel to be about politics, but I don't think it hurts to hear from as many voices, Canadian voices, to know kind of where we're at really in our day-to-day lives, not just, headlines and conversations about how badly we're being treated. We do think that we're being treated badly, but I don't want this channel to be about politics. I want it to be more about understanding each other, understanding van lifers, understanding how people come to live in their vehicles, understanding sort of how it works, and to not be afraid. And we're not out here to set up encampments in your beautiful neighborhoods. That's not the population that we travel in. It's a very separate, encampments are very separate realities of people who don't have houses than people who have homes on wheels, no matter what the vehicle, a home on wheels. And some communities are now associating van lifers with problems, and they're not problems of our own creation, but homelessness is a problem that we get kind of lumped in with. For example, right now I'm somewhere where I am welcome. It's a park. I'll put some pictures in here. It's actually a beautiful park and a big, huge parking lot for a soccer field, and nobody seems to care that I park here sometimes overnight, or I just spend the day with Buddy going for a WALK along the river and just enjoying the environment. I clean up after myself. I don't leave garbage. I sometimes clean up after other people who are here watching their kids' soccer games and just leave. Like the other day, there was all this fast food wrappers and everything blowing through the parking lot, and I did that. So I'm not sure if it's a good analogy that I'm now talking about let's clean up our relationship between Canada and the United States. And my very polite fellow Canadians, our feelings are hurt too. You know, we showed up. We fought in your wars. Not the one in Iran. But yeah, I think that if I can use this space to talk about our relationship and move away from the headlines that, you know, some of the headlines I've seen about, you know, Canadians, you know, don't like Americans. That's not true. We don't like what's happening to us, and we will stand up for ourselves. We are a strong nation. We're making all kinds of different plans because our best friend isn't that reliable right now. And the tourism drop that you're seeing in the United States is a direct result of that. Absolutely a direct result. I didn't go to the United States last winter. I instead flew directly from Vancouver to Baja, and then I rented and lived in an SUV while I was there, and then went back to Vancouver and drove home to Ottawa for, Ottawa and Ontario for 6 months. And then this winter I'll do up to 6 months in the United States because I miss some of the people that I love. And boycotting seeing my own family members, particularly one who's celebrating her 80th this fall, is just a personal choice for me to not spend another year unable to see people I love, my family that is American. I don't know if any of that helps with the understanding. I think generally you all know that we're nice people. We're really nice people. But yeah, we're not just gonna roll over. There's some expression about, you know, Canadians are really nice until we put on hockey skates or something like that. And this is kind of like that, is that we're really nice people. But 50% tariffs? Come on. So I invite comments. Please keep it civil. This is not a place to be trash talking other groups of people. This is a place to promote understanding about everything from those of us that live on wheels to some of the real life challenges that we may have, like recovering still from the car accident I was in, oh my God, 4 years ago now, 4 years ago and a bit. So feel free to comment, engage. I'd love to talk to you all about this family feud that I think that we're in, but I don't want it to get nasty the way that the internet can often get nasty. No place for that here, and because it's my YouTube channel, I get to create the rules. Oh yeah, I'm also under a flight path. Speaking of travel, right? Here goes a big plane. So I hope that helps, because if any of you were sitting there at home, and I know 70% of you who subscribe to this channel are American, I wanted to be really clear that we are not angry with Americans. except ones that maybe storm the Capitol. Just saying. We love Americans. We're part of the bloodline. We all kind of came from the same place originally, and we just came over on different boats, maybe. I don't think any of us were on the Mayflower. I think the Vikings were in Newfoundland before anybody else, but that's a story for another day. So, with love from Canada, please know we want peace and love and good things for your country and for ours.